Unsurpassed, telecast, it's the 10 items or less podcast.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to 10 Items or Less. I'm your host, Justin Smith, where we take a normal, everyday podcast. We run it through the express lane with 10 questions. You know the deal. My guest today is one of my favorite people in all of Nashville. He's an entrepreneur, mogul, icon, and he makes an incredible hot dog. You guys, my wonderful guest today is Sean Porter. Yeah.
Thanks for having me, dude.
Dude,
I'm
so excited.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, so we're just gonna jump into it, get into it.
Let's rip it, dude.
10 questions, you know the deal. First question. It's an either or. You can either never use a straw again, or you have to use 3 straws at a time.
Never use a straw again.
Never use a straw again.
Yeah. I'm a no straw boy most of the time.
The whole time?
A lot of times, even with the mustache.
Yeah.
Because sometimes it's like you go and you get a little flavor again later.
Yeah.
You know, you're thirsty and you're like, I'm not quite thirsty enough to reach for the cup.
For sure.
So you just go, and there's a little bit left.
Oh.
Wet the palate.
You're looking at it in such a positive way. Because every time that my mustache gets a little long, I always have to do the thing where I drink and then I have to like do the little wipe, the little check.
Yeah.
Oh, but I love that I've always heard the term flavor saver, but the idea that there's somebody out there like
I'm saving,
taking it to the max.
Yeah, baby.
Dude, I love that.
Hey,
dude, you really are. You're living the life that so many others can only dream about.
Oh.
It really is
saving flavors all day long.
Is there a beverage that you particularly love to get stuck, have a little leftover?
I'm a Dr. Pepper man, so I'd love a good extra little DP.
I love that you're a great mixture of like an old school 40s 50s guy and like a modern guy all rolled up into one. That's a rarity. I mean, that's great.
I'm an old man in a young man's body.
I love it. That's great. All right, next question. What holiday movie do you watch out of season?
Probably Home Alone.
Good answer.
Yeah.
Good answer.
And usually probably Home Alone 2.
I love Home Alone 2.
Yeah, I think that's better than the first one, in my opinion.
That's
the bird lady, the whole thing.
That's a strong stance.
Yeah.
And I like it. In fact, my girl got me for Christmas. She got me one of the best Christmas gifts. So the 2 turtle dove guy, he really makes those, and he only makes like 100 every Christmas.
Okay.
And so he's got them trademarked. So for his payment for doing them for the movie was, they have to be it's my trademark. Like I own this.
Yeah, I own the
whole
turtle
thing.
dove.
Yeah. And so he has this like whole thing. So basically he just works during Christmas.
Is it the same guy that's in the movie?
Yeah. I don't know if it's not the actor.
Oh, it's not. I was like,
but the guy that made the turtle doves and the concept.
Okay. Yeah.
He's like, that's how he got paid, is he has the trademark to the whole thing. And then you have one of the most iconic movies.
Yeah.
Just pumping your...
Talk about just sink money coming in.
Oh, dude. That's the dream. That's the dream. Like, if I could just have turtle dove money, dude, you're living the life.
Aruba kicking it up, dude. Sand in the toes.
I mean, do you know how great it is to be on vacation and just look somebody that's worked for 49 weeks, 50 weeks out of the year just to scrimp and save so they can go to Aruba, and you're just drinking a coconut next to that person and you go, you know what paid for this vacation?
Turtle doves.
Turtle doves.
Exactly, dude.
That's the highest flex I think you could ever have.
Right.
Dude, but that's a great answer. I love the sequel. The idea of the sequel is my absolute favorite.
Yeah, there's not many sequels that are either hold up or better than the first one, you know?
I agree. So good. Next question. I mean, I wrote this question specifically for you.
Perfect.
Because I know you would have an amazing answer for it. I don't want to put too much pressure on you.
Okay.
Next question. What is the ugliest car you wish you could drive?
Oh, easy. Subaru Brat.
A Subaru Brat.
Yeah, it's basically a Japanese El Camino that with seats in the back that point backwards. And I bought 5 of them. Here's a story. I bought 5 of them sight unseen from a crazy redneck in East Tennessee. I go out there, have this whole adventure getting them. It was a whole thing. All the tires were flat, so I found 4 that were decent. I'd put 4 on one, roll it down the hill, put it on a trailer, take them off, and do it again 5 times.
You rolled it down a hill.
Yeah, that was more to the story, but the short end, it was a mountain.
I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So are you in the car, or are you just pushing and praying?
So I had a couple guys with me. They were pushing. I was steering. And a lot of them, like, we didn't test brakes or anything. So I'm just, like, flying blind. Got the e-brake I'm pulling, trying to see if there's any juice left.
So you're doing the cool runnings, basically.
Pretty much,
oh,
yeah.
Dude.
It was pretty fun. But then they were just too far gone for me. I know a little bit about cars, but not enough to, like, fix them.
Right.
And so I put them on Craigslist, and Travis Pastrana bought all of them. And he turned all 5 into one drift car. And
wow.
I haven't been able to catch it in person yet, but he does a bunch of like drifting stuff in Kentucky and like Atlanta and stuff.
Well, shouldn't the thing be like, hey, dude, I made this possible?
I know. It was like his mechanic that bought it or whatever, but part of the deal was I was like, put some stickers in there, sent him with a big bunch of sticker pack, and was like, throw some daddy stickers on this thing. But it's actually a Black Rifle Coffee Company.
Oh.
Like promo car now. But...
Oh.
That's the
answer.
answer.
until they sponsor this podcast.
Yeah.
Ugh. But maybe.
Maybe.
No, wow, that's just so crazy. I've never thought that, like, oh, I had it close, and then I just like.
I still look like it's still the car that I Google when I like. Oh, let's see. Facebook Marketplace Subaru Brat, and they're pretty rare. So it's like and. They're, Northwest, there's a lot of them. So where I'm from in Seattle,
right,
you'd see them out every once in a while. But down here,
Subaru,
I've seen.
Of course, I didn't even put that. Yeah,
I think I've seen like one driving around in Tennessee ever in 10 years of being here. And so I keep looking to try to find that one. And I'm past the point now where I like don't want to fix it up. So I'm trying to find one that's like, all right, it's halfway decent. It runs. I can just turn it on and drive.
That'd be amazing, dude.
Yeah.
The seats facing the opposite way is...
It's great. So it was back in the day, in the 80s or whatever, there was a tariff. Times... what a thing. Times. But there's a tariff on trucks. And so Subaru put these seats in the back to get off that tariff. And so it was still a 4-person passenger vehicle. Oh. And so they circumvented that tariff. We might see some more of that stuff happening.
That would what if that's the crazy situation that we're in? How amazing would it be if like car manufacturers are like, all right, let's just get creative with how to.
They just turn a truck into a minivan that has like a pop top.
Oh, dude, that'd be cool. Actually. That'd be amazing, dude.
Innovation.
All right, so next question.
Mm-hmm.
Would you rather be vegetarian for a month? Or liquefy everything for a week?
So I've done both these.
Wow.
I did the juice thing, and I like watched that Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead movie that everyone watched like 10 years ago or whatever. And I tried to do the juice, and it was intense. I actually gained weight, which was crazy.
You gained weight on an all-liquid diet?
All-liquid juice diet, yeah.
Wow.
I think it was just the sugars and stuff. Like,
yeah, they don't tell you that.
Yeah, they don't tell me. There's a lot more science, I think, than like, I got a juice every day.
Yeah.
And then at one point, I was on tour with a band back in my touring days, and everyone was vegetarian. So I was like, well, I'll just eat like you guys eat. And I'll say I was not a pleasant person for that tour.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. But back to I would rather do. I think I'd rather be vegetarian, especially nowadays. I feel like there's so many substitutes that, like back when I was doing it, it was like tofu. That's all you got.
Yeah.
And that's not the best. And now there's so many different things out there that
different protein.
Get that protein and all that kind of stuff. Because I was crashing. I just wouldn't have energy and I'm a protein boy.
Yeah, for sure.
Give me some steak, baby.
Yeah. Yeah, it is crazy how when you do like extreme things like that, there's like every documentary there should be, hey, just so you know,
Yeah.
we should have a
Disclaimer.
Just for anybody.
Disclaimer.
Listen, your
Disclaimer.
friend's gonna be real cranky for this amount of time,
Yeah.
and so that's always funny that's the documentary that everybody goes to is the Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead, and you're like, look at how my life turned around, and you're like, you do it, and you're like, oh, that's not.
Yeah. It was like, and it wasn't like 3-4 days in. It wasn't as tough. I wasn't hungry really, but again, it was like you just felt like there was a lot of sugar, so you're just
Right.
kind of like always juiced up, literally.
Right. And then you with
You'd
sugar
crash
you
pretty
crash.
hard,
Yeah.
But every juice and how I didn't know how to really do it because there wasn't, you just watch the movie. There's no other guide to it.
Right.
Wow, juice. And
put everything in a blender.
Yeah, strawberries and raspberries and every one of them. And it's like you're supposed to do now, looking back. It was supposed to have like more greens and stuff in one of them during the morning, and like not a lot of sugar. And then you can have your sugar in like the middle of the day, so then you don't crash. You'll crash out when you're supposed to at night. Or
Right.
whatever. I don't know.
Next question. If you had walkout music and fireworks like a wrestler, what would your walkout situation to any event look like?
Oh man, I'm trying to think.
Because
I mean, definitely fireworks.
of course.
Yeah, for
but
sure.
what? I mean, like, are we? Is it like subtle? Is it more smoke?
Oh,
like,
nothing
what's-
subtle with me, buddy.
Yeah.
No. I mean, there'd be a lot of glitter and a lot of like
Okay.
bling. My suit's got a
Yeah.
lot of bedazzling happening.
I love
I have
that.
that. Maybe a cape. I'd throw a cape in there.
I love
I love
that.
a good cape.
Do you come out immediately, or do you let the music play
I'm
a little
gonna
bit?
let it play a little bit. I'm thinking
Gotcha.
like you. What's that song? Dong, boom, boom. Like, out here in the field.
I love
What's
it.
that one? But that one builds pretty good.
Yeah.
And or how Thunderstruck.
Of course.
Can't go wr's with that.
Right.
That's a good one.
But I
Get
love the
people pumped.
idea that you're adding like, because I love that you have like, I want to go glitter and I want to go like the idea that you're making like Thunderstruck is usually like a like a black leathery
Yeah.
hard kind of like like a wicked guitar.
Yeah.
And you're like, no, I'm gonna make it
I'm thinking
sparkly.
80s glam. baby.
Yeah.
Like Steel Panther.
Just have a like a real hard rock attitude with like a hairband energy. I love it
100%.
because those two don't like each other at all.
No.
And just to blend those worlds together, it's
Yeah,
like,
they're both of them are like, there's no talent there.
Yeah.
They're not talented.
yeah, and we're bringing it all together. I'm gonna tell you something. I was always fascinated whenever I would play. I would play the wrestling, like all the wrestling games on Nintendo 64.
Oh, yeah.
That was my favorite, and I was always like, Gold Dust was one of my favorite characters because he was always like so like mysterious.
Quick WWE story for you.
Do it, throw it out there.
A friend of mine won the Undertaker's old like limo truck, like the first one he had, and he'd come out and the what's it called? The coffin would come out the back.
Oh,
and
the
then
hearse.
The hearse, yeah, that's it.
Oh, wow.
And he turned it into a limo in Salt Lake, and he would drive people to the airport and around. And I was through there with a band, and he like picked us up at the airport in
Oh,
the
that's so
Undertaker
cool.
hearse, and took us to the show, and it was really, really cool.
There's nothing better. I mean, I've been picked up in a lot of things, but a hearse.
Yeah, it was awesome.
That's pretty stellar.
Yeah.
Does he still have the car?
He does, and he sold it a few years ago. He got married and kids.
Oh yeah.
You
can't. There's nothing more kids than, hey man, you gotta we can't have this in the
We can't have a
driveway.
hearse now.
Yeah. Because then they're like, what funeral parlor do you work for? He's like, oh no, it's just fun.
Yeah.
All right, next question. What does your dream bathroom look like?
Ooh.
If you had all the money and you could set it up, go any theme, any situation.
Yeah. It would definitely be like super high-end hotel.
Right.
For sure. I stayed at this one hotel once. I always got to stay at some cool places when I was on the road. And,
Right.
I stayed at this one, and everything was around the tub. The tub was the center of the room, and the water from the tub came from the ceiling. It was awesome. And so I saw that and I was like, I want to do this.
So this is like a Scarface tub.
Pretty much,
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
And the room was like kind of rounded, and there was like a shower on one side, the toilet room was on the other, and then there was like 2 vanities. But I'd probably go bigger. Let's put in walk-in shower over here.
Oh, yeah, of course.
And then let's put in maybe a sauna,
Right.
cold plunge
Yeah.
room. Why not? Let's do all the
fun
fads.
things.
All the fads that right now.
Yeah.
Steam room.
I love that.
Yeah, I love a steam room.
Now, shower. Do you have anything special for the shower, or just
Overhead for sure.
right?
Definitely. I don't want to be like, ducking.
Right.
So we're thinking overhead guy. Maybe some body jets, but I just like sound system. Good sound system.
Okay, I'm on board with that.
I'm a shower singer.
Right.
Maybe even let's do this. Let's put a karaoke screen in there so that I can know the lyrics that I'm singing instead of just faking it.
I'm
And maybe
all
a beer
way on
fridge.
board with that.
Beer fridge, maybe.
Okay. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I think you're even finding a show idea. Because you remember how Exhibit used to do Pimp My Ride?
Pimp my potty.
Pimp.
We just came over the show,
That's,
bud.
That's the. I think we got to cut this out. That's a
TM.
pitch.
Trademark.
That's
Yep.
a pitch.
NBC, where you at, baby? Let's go. Peacock.
Oh my gosh. Pimp My Potty. And that's something that everybody will be on board with.
Yeah, I want a really cool bathroom.
You pimp a car and it's like, well, I can't sell this. Who wants to keep up with 4 fish tanks?
Have you read some of the stuff on those?
Oh yeah, I've
it's
seen
just
all the
classic,
videos.
Dude.
You're just like, I can't. My door has to open this way now for as long as the motor lasts. You're like,
Or like it showed up and didn't run.
yeah, that's crazy. Too. I love those things so much, and I'm just like, that would be such a practical thing because you're like, oh, now because you have like with what was the Move Your Bus Extreme Home Makeover.
Oh, yeah.
They do things and you're like, I redid this room and put all this stuff in it, and then they like ended up like their stuff got stolen. People would see where it's like you're
Here's
putting
your gun
things,
safe.
Yeah,
Here's where your valuables go.
yeah.
They're like, oh, I know
But
exactly the layout of your house.
Nobody's gonna break in to steal your plumbing fixtures. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's like a thing. You're like, hey, I want everybody to see how great my bathroom is. I'm on board. I remember the thing that inspired this question was my buddy Mike Lavin, who's the homeless pimp. He's one of the best directors of any comedy special you could ever go to. One of the best video guys you could ever be around. I mean, just truly awesome. He, in his house in Queens, his dad built this shower. And I remember because he was just like, hey, just come stay the night at my house. I was like coming through and I needed a place to crash. So I stayed the night in his house and we go down in the basement. And he goes, yeah, you can just take a shower in there. And I walked in, and there were 2 shower heads on opposite sides. And he goes, yeah, just turn the knob on, find your temperature. And, dude, they had the most pressure. It was like just getting blasted with perfectly warm water. And I just turned like a hot dog at 7-Eleven. Like, yeah. I just remember it being the best shower. It was the softest water. It was just, everything was like perfect, and I didn't want to get out of it.
I don't like getting out of the shower.
Oh, I mean,
can stay in there a while.
When you get like a good one, it is a religious experience.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I always think that a bathroom's a sanctuary.
Yeah. I used to, when I was on tour, this is like my one diva move every once in a while. If you had a good bathroom and you were staying like a 5-star place,
Right.
I'd call and be like, can you run me a bathroom 914? And they'd like run you a bath. And if it was a really nice hotel, they'd put like rubber ducks in it.
I just want to make sure that I'm like, you would call them and be like, Can I get a bath run? At this
Yeah,
time?
because I was staying with like artists all the time, and so
Right.
I'd always like end up. The tour manager always kind of ends up the same level as the artist.
Of course.
And so I'd always, and they wouldn't know if I was the artist or if.
Right.
So it would kind of just be like they
Right.
think, oh, this guy.
Well, also, you're an extension of the band.
Yeah. Well, they also just think this guy like wants a bath. We're gonna go up there and do it.
Right.
And so yeah, I just every once in a
love
while
that.
I'd get drunk at like we'd go out afterwards. It's 1 a.m. Like, I want to take a bath. I just call the hotel from the bar or the cab. Can you run me a bath?
I mean, I'm gonna tell you something. I thought I was a big shot with travel when I was like, if you ask a hotel for a mini fridge, if you don't have a mini fridge, they'll bring you a mini fridge or a microwave. I'm flexing like that. I'm like, oh, did you not know this thing? Well, if you ask for this thing, they'll bring it to you.
They'll run you a bath.
And you just threw that way under the bus. They'll run you a bath, and sometimes they'll bring you rubber duckies.
Yeah. Classic, baby.
That's amazing, dude. I love that so much. That's crazy. All right, so I'm gonna try something. So this is Sam's idea, and so I just want you to know in case it doesn't go good.
Perfect. Let's blame her.
So all I'm gonna do, this question, I'm gonna read you a list of things, rapid fire. You tell me if they're overrated or underrated.
Cool.
Candles,
Under.
small Coke cans,
Over.
silk scarves.
Under.
Good answer. Barn doors.
Over.
Yeah, that's a
So-
man that's been burned by a bathroom barn door
Yep.
right there.
I have one right now, dude. I have one right now.
I said that. I go, well, who's gonna know that? And I go, I think Sean's gonna know
Yeah,
that.
I know.
Coins.
Over.
Overrated on coins.
Yeah, I'm not a coin guy.
Yeah.
I'm kind of the dude that like nowadays I'm like,
Yeah. This will find the right pockets.
someone will get it.
And last one, sabering.
Sabering.
Yeah.
Oh, like
Yeah.
over.
Over?
I mean, it's cool, I guess. I've never really like seen it done in person, just on the TVs.
Well, I'm just saying.
I guess it'd be cool. Let's be real. It's under.
It'd
It'd be cool.
You know what? Both answers are correct. I would say if you're over it,
I bet if you've seen it twice,
yeah.
you've seen it. But I've never seen it. So until I see it, it's underrated.
I feel like sabering's kind of like fajitas. Like when you see it once come out, you're like, "Ooh, I want fajitas." But you see fajitas 5 times in one dinner setting, you're like, "I'm over it."
Yeah, everyone got fajitas.
I
'cause
get
that
it. I
first
get it.
guy got
Everything sizzles.
If you're the first guy,
yeah,
then or it's maybe the second guy, because you saw the first guy get the fajitas.
Right.
He set the standard.
Yeah.
Then you saw it, and then everyone followed you.
chain reaction of
Yeah.
fajitas.
Exactly.
I will say though, sabering might be an interesting add-on to Daddy's Dogs on Valentine's Day.
Date night. That's true. That's true.
It's pretty stellar. I tell everybody about it. It's the best. It's one of the coolest events I go to.
Thank you, bro.
We're at the last question.
Oh,
Last question.
easy.
And it's the same one every week. Last question. What hill would you die on?
Well, I think I've got to die on the hot dog is not a sandwich.
Yeah. Are you getting bite back on that?
Yeah, people. It's a controversy.
Wow.
Yeah, it's not a sandwich.
Well, I think anybody, it's like if the hot dog is a sandwich, then a stuffed potato is a sandwich.
Yeah, kind of.
Because you're just splitting something and putting something in the middle.
Yeah, well, but it's bread. I
I like how
what
he
people
wasn't
are
on board with
thinking.
what I was saying.
I
He
gave
goes,
up-
I think what you just said is crazy.
A potato and a piece of bread are two totally different things. But if we're gonna take a less, maybe just a different one,
Right.
would be I don't think it's rude if you order A1 at a steakhouse.
I don't think it's rude at all.
You get black. If you go to a nice steakhouse, you go to Perry's,
Right.
you order, hey, give me some A1. Oh my goodness, the looks you get through the whole restaurant. Everyone looks at you. I'm like, I like the taste of A1.
Yeah.
I like A1. I'll do that stuff by the shot.
I think it would be interesting if you ordered A1 and you make them put it down and you go, oh, no, this is for my fries. I like A1 on my French fries, not for the steak.
Yeah.
And
It is
then-
good on potatoes, too.
It's very
Yeah,
good on
baked
everything.
potatoes. Yeah. It's good.
But
eggs.
I think people have a certain taste for their steak. Some people are purists. Now, here's the thing. It also depends for me. I'll give you the out on the A1 on any steak. But it also depends to me on what type of steak you put it on. Mm-hmm. Because I think there's differences in the type of steak. If you get a certain filet or New York strip and you got sometimes...
No.
Also, I've been to steakhouses where the steaks are incredible. You know they're incredible. I've seen them, but they just don't. For whatever reason that night, they ain't got it. Listen, man, I'm still paying the price.
A1.
If you're off, I could complain, but then you're going to look at me like, oh, yeah, that guy complained because of what I look like. So I'm just going to take A1. We'll both take the L.
Yep.
Take your L. And A1 is the L.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't put it. Well, let's see. I probably wouldn't put it on like a Wagyu A5 kind of thing.
So Wagyu is the exception.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't do that, but might.
Yeah. Well, I also think that anybody that gives you bite back on putting A1 on the thing is like, just so you know, every great steakhouse has a tray of sauces to dip the steak in. You've got some kind of truffle situation. You've got some kind of
Bolognese or whatever
You've
they
got
are,
you've got all these different things to dip these sauces in. It's not a reach that my favorite sauce just comes in a bottle and is shipped to your thing.
You.
And by the way, not for nothing,
It's the
but
cheapest one you're gonna make money on.
exactly
too.
right. And every steakhouse makes a version of A1 to offer with their steaks.
Mm-hmm.
So I gotta say, I think you kind of, just by talking to you, I'm kind of on board with you. Have you ever been to a steakhouse where they don't have A1?
Yes.
What do you do
I was in
then?
Boston. I just went, oh really? And they went, yeah. And I went, okay, I guess.
Oh, really? Well, what did they have?
They had like red wine reduction or whatever they brought. Fine.
Were they mad at you?
Oh yeah, you could tell.
Yeah.
But I was with somebody, so they couldn't really be mad.
Right.
So you're like, I'm that guy.
But see, also, I think at that level, you're an eccentric. Listen, man, I like A1.
Yeah. We would always, we're for the table kind of folks too.
Right.
So it's like, give me a little of that, a little of this, a little of that.
I think even the TM move would be to lean in and go, hey, listen.
We're gonna need you to go get some A1.
He, see the guy down there? He doesn't like to order it, but we're gonna need some A1 just on the table.
Oh, I thought you meant like if they didn't have it, be like, we're gonna need you to go get some.
No. I don't think I'd ever go that far. But that's also
depends where. But I would as a joke. But then I'd I'd probably buy them a car. If I was like super rich, I'd do that, and then I'd buy the
Right.
person a car if they did it.
that'd be pretty.
If I was really, really rich.
That's super
if I was
Elvis-y.
if I was Mark Cuban style,
Yeah.
that's exactly what I'd do. I'd be like, the whole way to the store, they'd be like, this guy sucks. Just so mad.
Well, that'd be wild.
And then
'cause-
they'd come back and be like,
well, I mean,
unbelievable, I got a car.
How amazing would that be? You go to a city, you buy a car, you have a car ready for you when you get there, so you can drive around. You go to the steakhouse, you go, hey, you don't have A1. Here are the keys to my car. Go jump in my car real quick. Go get A1, and then when they bring the A1 back, if they're smiling and they're happy, they go to hand you the keys back, and you go, no,
It's your car.
those keys are for you. Those are your keys.
I want to get to that point.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
If you get to that point, can I be on the team?
Yeah.
Can I be on the team?
Yeah.
I just want to be on the team. It's like, hey, listen, Mr. Dog, definitely,
Mr. Daddy.
Mr. Daddy, definitely needs A1 on the table. Just when the steaks come out, it's fine. But we need to handle that situation.
Yeah.
Because if you don't, it's going to be a problem. It's going to throw the whole day off. We already have a bath. If it's cold when he gets there, he gets real upset.
We got circulating hot water going in the bath. It's out of control.
Well, I'm going to tell you something. You absolutely crushed today. You were the first guest that I've had on the show that was not like a on-stage entertainer.
Oh.
And I'm just going to tell you, you crushed it. You crushed it today. And so thank you so much for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
Where would you like this? Where would you send people on socials?
Yeah. Check me out at Daddy's Dogs Nash or my personal Big Daddy Says. And come to hang out at the bar if you're in Nashville.
For sure. The bar Gramps?
Gramps Garage, yep. Trinity and Gallatin, East Nashville.
Everything, if you're in Nashville, you're coming to Nashville, Daddy's Dogs it's the thing that I send everybody to.
Thank you.
You got to come. It's an experience. The idea that every business that you turn into, it's not just a destination. It's a place where it's like, you got to come and feel the vibe here. Every event you have is all incredible.
Thank you.
And not for nothing, dude, you're building a huge brand, and
Thanks, man.
It's a whole thing.
Thank you.
And I'm very proud to know you, for sure.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me. And I'm
sure,
super
man.
stoked for everything you got going on, your special coming up and all that.
Oh
kind of
yeah,
stuff. It's
dude.
gonna be awesome.
Well, we're very excited about it. We're very excited about this too. This is great. So,
Heck yeah.
thank you so much, Sean. I appreciate you, man.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah.